Hi friends, today we are going to look at how to do Gongyo. So that is a one request I have got again and again from people that they when they started as part of the practice for oneself, we need to chant and we need to do Gongyo on a morning and evening basis. However, Gongyo is something which is not in a English language. However, it is in a traditional Japanese language, right? And then a lot of people find difficult to do the pronunciation and able to master over it, right? And that is something that discourage a lot of people. So to help them understand how to do the right pronunciation and how to make sure that we are doing Gongyo in a right rhythm when we are practicing with multiple peoples in a group, when we do Gongyo and Daimoku in a group, right? With that intent, this is a video where I'll talk about how to do the right pronunciation. So without any delay, let's start. And I am using the book provided by Eternal Camp. I just bought it from Eternal Kanjis, and I'll use this book to tell you how to do the right Gongyo. So I'll just open it up. What exactly Gongyo is and what is the meaning of each of the words in the Gongyo, right? What is the significance of it? I'll create a separate video. As of now, the purpose of this this particular video is to make sure who the people who are looking to understand how to do right Gongyo are able to do so. Okay, so if you open, so you will see there is some introduction. I am not sure if you are able to read it. Let me just set my camera for a minute. Alright, I hope it is legible now. I can make it up also to make you understand. So in introduction, basically it talks about a brief introduction about Nichiren Daishin in Buddhism and a brief about life and Soka Gakkai 3 precedents that you can read, and some basic concepts around faith, practice and study, and towards happiness and harmony. So this is good way to introduce Gongyo. Now let's talk about the key part. What exactly Gongyo is? So Gongyo is nothing but it's a portion from the 2nd and 16th chapter of Lotus Sutra, which are considered the most important parts of Lotus Sutra, and we recite it morning and evening, right? So there are two parts to Gongyo. Part 1 where we recite from the Hobin chapter, the chapter Expedient Means, which is the 2nd chapter of Lotus Sutra, and there is a part 2 where we recite some portion from the 16th chapter Juryo, which also means the lifespan of the Daskam one, right? Now there is a very important pronunciation guide. Okay, so that is something that will come very handy for you. So let me take you through it. So there is a set methods how we gonna pronounce vowels and how we gonna pronounce consonants. Okay, so in case of vowels, we know that vowels are A, E, I, O, U. However, apart from that, we will all from the point of view of here we are using Hepburn system of romanization. So there are two more vowels, A, I and U, I. And the most important consonants that we gonna encounter during Gongyo are G, J, T, S, H and Y. So how should we pronounce this particular consonants? So A has to be pronounced as A in father. So when we speak father, fa, a, so A is a sound of A. Similarly, when we pronounce E as in 10, so E has a sound of A, 10, 10, te, e. So A is a sound of A. E has a sound of A. I as in machine, machine, E, E, machine, machine, E. So I has a sound of E. O as in open. So O is very straightforward. O has to be pronounced like O, O. U as in rule. In case of rule, the sound comes out is rule, roo, oo. So U has to be pronounced like oo. Then AI like Thailand. So in case of Thailand, Thai, I. So AI like I, and UI as in Louis, Ui, Ui, Louis, Ui, Ui. So UE sound is coming as Ui, Ui, right? In case of consonants, G as in get, so G, the sound of G. J as in joy, J. TS as in bets, bets, bets. So we are getting a sound of s, 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 bets, bets. So this is how the TS has to be pronounced. H as in hello, that means her. Y as in yet, that means year. So that is something around pronunciation. We will go through the Gongyo and see how it is coming out. So don't worry about it. Okay. However, I hope you understood how to do the right pronunciation. So A as A, E as A, I as E, O as O, U as U, A I as I, U I as UI. G as G, J as J, T as tus, H as her, Y as ya. So once we understood the pronunciation, the next element is to understand the tone. Tone is very important. So here it is written, along with correct pronunciation and steady rhythm, it is also important to maintain a consistent tone, neither raising nor lowering one's pitch. So that is around pitch. So whenever we are talking or whenever we are reciting in particular, we have to make sure that we have a right rhythm. It should not happen that some words are coming out fast, some words are coming out more loud, some words are coming out low and slow. So it should not happen that we are saying along the correct pronunciation and steady rhythm is also important. So we have to maintain a rhythm in terms of along with correct pronunciation and steady rhythm. It is also important to maintain a consistent tone, neither raising nor lowering one's pitch. It doesn't talk about optimum pitch. Okay, so the idea is there is no set guidelines. You have to do a Gongyo in a specific pitch or in a specific voice note or in a specific speed. What the direction is that whatever speed suits you, whatever tone you should do, continue in that particular pitch only. Okay, right, we will do that, don't worry. We will go through it. We will do some actual Gongyo together to see how it's coming up. Okay, now the next is rhythm. So as a general rule, there is one Chinese character for each beat with the following exceptions, right? So generally, if you see when we will go to Gongyo, we will see that to give you a direction in terms of the beats, right? At the top of every word, there is one Chinese character has been placed. Okay, the significance of this Chinese character is that these Chinese characters are helping us to find the right number of beats. Okay, it is not there for the people of Chinese origin so that they can read Gongyo in their language. We are in different part of world. We though using English as a base language, however there is a Chinese notation above it. The other important element is that this is classical Japan, right? However, the beats, the notation above are Chinese in nature, for the obvious reason that in Japan the Buddhism came from India through the Silk Route of China ultimately, and this is how the beats used to get identified, right? For example, if someone from India, right? So we have we have multiple chants in India, right? We have chants like Gayatri Mantra. So every chant has a specific rhythm, every chant has a specific pronunciation, and every chant has a specific rhythm. So whenever, no matter from whosoever in the world do Gayatri Mantra, they need to do in a right rhythm. Or for that matter, if somebody wants to pronounce Hanuman Chalisa, right? Similarly, in case of Gongyo, we have talked about pronunciation, we have talked about tone, now we are talking about rhythm. So rhythm, the significance of the Chinese character is that if there is one Chinese character above a particular word, that means it has to be pronounced in a single beat. What is the meaning of single beat? So the meaning is that if the word is setsu, so how many beats I am using? Set, su. So I am using 2 beats. However, the notation above is only 1. That means I should not pronounce it like setsu. I should pronounce like setsu. It should be 1 beat. Similarly, look at here. Here the word is vaku. If I pronounce it like vaku, it means there are 2 beats. Vaku. However, the notation above is 1. That means I should not pronounce like vaku. I should pronounce it in a single beat. That means vaku, right? Similarly, okay. So this word has 1 notation. So I'll pronounce it like chi, and I'll pronounce this word like Ricky. Okay. Now look at here. Here the word is 1, right? However, there are 2 notations above it. I hope you can see it. Okay. Now I hope now you can see. So look at here. Here the word is 1. However, the Chinese notation above are 2. So I have to use 1 beat for mu and 1 beat for ryo. So the pronunciation will be mu ryo instead of muryo. I will not pronounce it like muryo. I will say mu ryo. Okay. Similarly, here I will say mu shu instead of saying mushu. Here I would say ju myo instead of saying jumyo. Here I will say shu go instead of saying shugo. Okay. Look at here. Here the word is big. However, the beat is only 1. So I will not say shi chi. I will say shichi. Okay. However, here the word is more or less similar number of alphabets. However, the characters are 2. So here I would say ga shin instead of saying gashin. Similarly, look at here. The word is big. However, it has 2 Chinese notation. So how I will pronounce it? So kai. So kai instead of saying so kai. Okay. I hope it is making sense to you, and obviously it is a practice. When I started, it was obviously a difficult, and I used to take 10-15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes to complete Gongyo. However, over the period of time, you will be able to get hold of it, right? So don't worry. Now, in case of Chinese character, I told you how to map the words to the Chinese character to make sure we are in a right beats, right? However, there are 2 exceptions. One exception is shari hotsu, the other is hara mitsu. Only 2 exceptions are there. Okay. What are meaning of these 2 exceptions? That means that whenever shari hotsu word is written, at that point of time, though you will see that there are 2 Chinese notation above it, that means ideally I should have pronounced it like shari, hara. However, the beats in this case would be 1. So what I would pronounce it like is shari, hara. Instead of saying shari, hara, hara, shari. Hotsu, Mitsu, they have one beat, they will remain one beat. So ideally what I need to do whenever I see shari and whenever I see hara, I have to technically imagine that these two combined are one beat only. These are the only two exceptions. There are no other exceptions, okay? And again and again I'm telling, don't worry, as we proceed you will be able to understand, right? So okay, quick revision. So there is one thing called pronunciation, there is one thing called tone, there is one thing called rhythm, right? I hope you understood. Now a quick check. So A as in A, E as in A, I as E, O as O, U as U, A I as I, U I as UI, G as G, J as J, T as thus, H as her, Y as ya. We have to make sure that whenever whatever tone we are using a consistent tone. It should not happen that the tone is changing throughout Gongyo. And the third element is maintaining the rhythm. So if we master the triangle of pronunciation, tone and rhythm, then we are sorted, right? Now what about rhythm? In case of rhythm, there is a concept of beats. Whenever you see any word in Gongyo, there is a letter above it that will guide you how many beats you have to use when you are pronouncing that word. For example, the word is tendo. Instead of saying tendo, we will say tendo. So there are two beats here. Instead of saying bonbu, we will say bonbu. This particular word is like jitsu. No, it's not like jitsu. It will be pronounced like jitsu, right? Here this word is joken. Why joken and not joken? Because there are two Chinese characters above it. The only exception to this is these two words, shari and hara. In case of shari, though the transcription says two, however we will use only one beat. So we will, instead of saying shari, we will say shari, and hara means hara. So think of it like that. You have to rush through somewhere, you have to take a very micro pause somewhere to make sure you are in rhythm, and this becomes very important when you are chanting in group. Sometimes when you start, you will see that either people are rushing or people are slowing at some point of time, and you are doing a lot of time catching up only, right? However, people who are practicing for 6 months or a year, you will see that they are doing it seamlessly. And sometimes when I used to wonder that how people, this is a very, this is not an English, this is a very typical language, right? Chinese language or Japanese language. Still, people are able to pronounce in the right pronunciation, right tone, right rhythm, even without Gongyo book. So they have mastered, so they are doing it so daily, morning and evening, that it has now got ingrained in them, right? So that is where we also aspire to if you are starting out Nichiren Daishonin in Buddhism, right? So we have talked about pronunciation, tone and rhythm, and how to do Gongyo. So there is some guidelines in terms of you should face the Gohonzon. In case you don't have Gohonzon, you can face a blank wall, the wall which is of same solid color, right? Do some chanting, and then you can start doing Gongyo. How to do Gongyo, we will talk about in another, why should we do Gongyo and how to do Gongyo, we will also talk about. However, in the next video, we will actually practice how exactly we will do the pronunciation for each of these words. And I will help you, I will do a complete analysis of the Gongyo, so that no matter wherever you are, once you go through it, you will get more confidence. And then in the next video after that, we will do slow Gongyo together. That whenever you do Gongyo in the initial days, you can open up the channel and start do Gongyo with me on from that point of view. So this is it for this video. This video is already of 20 minutes. I don't want to bore you. I don't want to make it you know, 1 hour long video. So we have talked about the basics of Gongyo, pronunciation, tone and rhythm. And in the next video we will talk about how to do Gongyo, and then we will also do the actual recitation of the Gongyo. So yeah, thank you so much.